Vauban, he has an heirloom collection coming out very soon. Very, very soon, in fact. Well, for this, they decided to call it a Vauban retouch. Not a rework, but retouch. Then I touch up a few things here and there. It's definitely not a rework, guys. It's a retouch. Okay, so with this Vauban retouch, we are going to see what they did. Okay, they updated Vauban's passive description to match how they communicate damage. Okay, so they updated the description. Enemies affected by electricity status from Tesla will also receive bonus damage via his passive. We are looking into we are looking to expand this to shocks from all electricity status effect, but it required more work than anticipated, meaning we couldn't squeeze it in for the release of his heirloom. Okay? And then we have Ability 1, Tesla. The following changes address two main concerns. Tesla are hard to keep track of and unreadable while targeting, unreliable while targeting enemies. Okay. So now scale. Oh, status change scales with power strength. That's pretty nice actually. And then Tesla will prioritize enemies who are outside the range of the other. Oh, okay. So basically, it will prioritize stuff that's out of range of stuff that you're currently affecting with. Okay. That's cool. And then more enemies are affected by the buff. New, improved targeting logic to avoid invalid targets. Oh, okay. That's actually very good because before you would just target stuff willy-nilly. Sometimes it would be a valid target, sometimes invalid target. It was kind of one of those throw a bunch of darts and hope to hit the dartboard type thing. So, yeah, I'm actually excited for this change. Then we have cannot target ragdolled enemies in Bastille. Okay. Now basically he didn't need to work well with his own ability. So if they were ragdolled in one of his other abilities, he couldn't target them with his one, which is very weird, anti-intuitive type whatnot. So now it won't matter which order you do them in, because before you had to cast one before you cast it, but still otherwise, it wouldn't take. So yeah, that's pretty good. Novas now attach to enemies on first contact. Okay, not bad. Okay, Tesla shock now triggered immediately when latching onto the target. Added a trail VFX to help players keep track of them better in mission. Okay. And then the augment, Tesla Bank, added a marker to enemies so players can more easily identify who to target. Okay, that's not bad. Ability 2, Vauban's Mine Layer, offered 4 mines. Oh, okay. I actually remembered it. They merged together the two and the other two. First, they merged together the coil and fletchet into one mine with the following mechanics. Retained all existing fletchet mechanics. The mine spawns tether that pull enemy to it and would search for new targets if the current target entered Bastille. Oh, that's good. That's good. Well, I'm actually searching for new targets. That's actually good. That mine can stick to walls and ceiling. Okay, that's good. That's good. It's kind of like the remote, not remote detonate, but proximity mine type thing. So that's pretty cool. Improved tether mechanics so enemies have less of a chance of getting stuck. Okay. Then they also merged the pad and overdrive. Oh, okay. Stepping on the vector now gives overdrive buff to Vauban and his allies, meaning Vauban is no longer capped at 4 overdrive buffs. Okay. Now, speed and damage buffs also apply to the companion, player's companion. Okay, okay, so that kind of gives him a good support type thing too, that he can do. Enemies who step on the pad are lightly staggered after they are boosted off. Okay, okay, that's nice. That's nice. Kind of like the dizzy and confused and what have you. So I like it. So far, I like it. Ability 3 Photon Strike. Photon Strike is a flashy ability that is unfortunately overshadowed by other elements in Vauban's kit. The goal of a change is to increase its overall damage output so players are incentivized to reach for it more often, because that is true. Okay, right now it's a Photon Strike. It's a flashy ability, but it doesn't do much. Not really. Okay, damage changes. Enemies impacted by the explosion now receive a forced blast status effect. Photon Strike deals double damage to Overguard. Okay. Reduced energy cost 250. Increased blast radius from 5 meters to 7 meters. Enemy trapped in Bastille no longer get thrown about by Photon Strike. New, okay, reduced VFX intensity for squad mates. Okay, that's not bad. And then the augment Photon Reaper. If Photon Strike hits at least 5 enemies, the net cost will cost 0, cut no energy, and fire 2 additional strikes. Okay. The no energy thing is fine, but the additional 2 strikes is pretty cool, if I'm being honest. And then ability 4, Bastille. Okay, they removed the enemy cap on how many enemies Bastille can hold. To avoid possible performance or game issues related to the change, we have capped the number of Bastilles / vortexes that Vauban can create to 4 of each. To 4 of each. Oh, okay. See, I'll be honest. I thought it was already 4 to begin with. So that is perfectly fine. So I could like what, have 200 enemies? Can 200 enemies even be on the screen at one given time in Warframe? Someone let me know, comment section below. Yeah, I don't think they can, but in theory, if that were to be the case, oh, you know what? We should have a Warframe, like the whole Warriors of Orochi Dynasty Warrior game. We should have a Warriors of Warframe, where it's literally just enemies non-stop on the screen. So, you know what? Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Let me know comment section below if you think that's a good idea. Now back to what we were talking about. Okay, enemy armor strip applied to all enemies in Bastilled range, not those not just those immobilized by the effect of Bastille itself, including enemies who are ragdoll. Okay, okay. Increase the armor bonus cap from 1,000 to 1,500. New. Vauban and allies receive armor at double the rate if an enemy's armor is actively being stripped. Oh, okay, we get the stripped armor. So instead of just going into the void, it actually comes to us. That's cool. That's cool. Updated casting VFX and SFX, so video and sound effects, to make it clearer whether Bastille tap or hold. Okay, it's being used. New vortex magnetic effect now scales with power strength. Reduced VFX effect intensity for squad mates. Okay. And now it's augment repelling Bastille, renamed to enduring Bastille. Removed the repelling mechanic as Bastille no longer has an enemy cap. Killing an enemy in Bastille will now increase its duration by 2 seconds. The time increase scales with duration, and the total bonus duration is capped at 2 times Bastille's modded duration. Vortex's duration is increased by 70% of its maximum duration for each additional vortex thrown into it, unchanged. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, I like this. Okay. I'm not a big Vauban player, but I have played Vauban a handful of times, especially back when raids were a thing. Vauban was basically the GOAT for law of retribution. Okay, so yeah, but I digress. Let me know your thoughts. Comment section below. Does this make it more likely for you to pick up Vauban Heirloom? Are you like, I'm not all about the Vauban changes at all? Do you consider this a rework or a retouch, like they said? I'll be honest, at first I was mocking the idea that it's just a retouch instead of a rework, but I get it, okay? After reading it, I get it, okay? Because it's not quite reworking his abilities, it's bringing his abilities into the future, as it were. Which is pretty ironic since he's supposed to be like a futuristic and you know what, I'm just going to end it here. Let me know your thoughts, comment section below. I'll catch you guys in the future. Later.